What's up, guys? What is up? What's going on? Welcome back, KGYT. It is your favorite expat right here from Colombia. All right, and one of the top stories right now involving Colombia and the dangers of Colombia is this dude named Eric Gutierrez. American Airlines worker who I think the flight got canceled from Medellin to back to Miami. And he decided, you know what, I'm in Medellin, I'm gonna go have some fun, it's gonna be awesome. My friends, people watching, subscribers, that's where the problem lies. Colombia is not a dangerous place. I've been living here for about 5 years, going on to 5 years, and it's not dangerous. But again, I do the non-dangerous activities here in Colombia. So if you think, oh my God, I'm going to travel to Colombia and I'm going to get killed. Yeah, you might if you go into that underworld, if you go into the nightlife, if you go into that part of Colombia. Listen, I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I used to frequent some sketchy places when I was young. I used to visit these illegal after hours, where there were some sketchy individuals in there. But I was part of the town. I was part of the group. I wasn't an outsider. They saw my face previously. They knew I belonged there. Nobody messed with me. Same thing happens here. But when you catch that person, you see that person, you're like, wait a minute. You see, now this is where street smarts come in. Because if you're not part of the crowd, if you're not part of the environment, you have to be wary of everything. Your spidey senses have to go up immediately. Even though I speak the language, Colombian, right? Because every South American country has their own dialect, right? You might come to Colombia and just because you speak Spanish, you think, oh yeah, I'm gonna fit right in. No, you won't. No, you won't. You won't fit right in. Because your Spanish is a lot different than Colombian Spanish. And when I go to Mexico, yeah, I understand. But when they see me or when they hear me speaking, they'll be like, yeah, he's not Mexican. I bet if I go to Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, the minute I get there, even though I speak Spanish, the minute I open up my app, they're gonna be like, yep, that dude is an out-of-towner. He's not from here, right? We have no loyalty to him. See, that's the way it works. You're not street smart if you didn't grow up in the street. These are things you have to understand when you visit a foreign country. You need to always understand that you are the outsider. Even here in Colombia, I speak pretty Colombian. But even then, when I speak, they're like, you're not really Colombian. I'm like, no, I'm Colombian. I was just raised in the United States, but my blood is Colombian. Right there and then I know, okay, I'm not part of it. I'm not part of the crowd. I'm not part of the inner circle. Okay? I can become it after a while, but not at first. Okay? You need to understand that. So maybe being of Colombian descent, maybe, right? We were always taught, and we grew up with this in our households. You go to a bar, you go to a party that it's not your party with your friends and your family members, right? If you have a drink and you put that drink down and you leave for 5 seconds where you didn't have I or someone that of trust taking care of that drink, you don't drink that drink anymore. That drink is done. That drink is garbage. I don't care how much you paid for that drink. That drink is done. You don't touch it anymore. Growing up in Brooklyn, New York, when I used to go to clubs, if I had a beer, if I had a drink, if I left my drink there and I didn't have one of my friends saying, hey, watch my drink, and they didn't watch it, that drink was done. Same thing. When you come to Colombia, now here's the problem with us men, right? Especially here in Colombia with all the beautiful women. You guys get stupid. Guys get stupid. You see a pretty face, a big butt. You're like, she loves me. She loves me so much. No, she don't love you. She don't love you. You're not part of the in crowd. You might find love, but you're not gonna find that love you're so looking for in a nightclub at 1 o'clock in the morning. There's predators out there, guys. You need to understand this. Now, if you go to the supermarket or you're going on a hike or something like that, that's a totally different environment. Most likely, you're not going to find any human predators there. You might find a snake, a spider, or something like that, right? Depending where you're at. You might get kicked by a horse if you're horseback riding, but that's a totally different story. If you're in a nightclub at 2 o'clock in the morning, that beautiful girl who's been giving you the eyes, who's been touching you, telling you, oh my God, how good looking you are, and you fall for it? Come on. You can't be that dumb, right? You just can't be that dumb. You are an outsider. They want something from you. And if they smell you, that you're an outsider with dollars, oh, they see you coming a mile away, man. They see you coming a mile away, like, see that dude over there? That's prime target. That's a target. Can't fall for it. If you come to Colombia and you're going out to nightclubs, you can't trust anybody. If you have a drink and you leave it to go to the bathroom and come back and the pretty girl was taking care of it for you, that pretty girl probably put something in your drink. You go to the bathroom, you take the drink with you. You don't trust anyone. In Colombian culture, your drinks are never left unattended. Ever, 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 ever. Never. Keep your focus. Stay vigilant. You gotta be street smart, at least a little bit. Maybe you grew up in a suburb and you never got the opportunity of being street smart. You gotta learn. You have to stay focused. You can't be so trustworthy, right? Poor dude lost his life. They just found his body, supposedly. They had to inform his family back home. His father, I think, came down to Medellin. I don't even know if he was Colombian descent. He might have been. He might have not. He probably thought, because, hey, you know what? My last name is Gutierrez. I'm Spanish. I don't know if he's Cuban, Puerto Rican, Dominican, or some other race. You come here, you understand the language? Yeah, you know what? What you say in your Spanish means something totally different in this Spanish. And that right there, my friend, is how you get caught. That right there is how they realize, no, you're not one of them. You're one of the other side. You're not one of us, you're one of the other side. Same thing. Listen, even if you're American, right? Let's say you live in, all right. Now, it works in both ways. Last thing, and then I'll leave you guys be so you guys can subscribe and like and comment and give me some pushback. I would like to hear your pushback on what I'm saying. Is it true? Have you been through an experience like this before? Have you not? Right? Am I just talking crap and I don't know what I'm talking about? Let me know. I don't mind the pushback. Honestly, go for it. Tell me what you guys feel. Tell me what you guys think. But I'm a New Yorker. I'm an American. I speak English, right? When I got to Miami and I started talking, they were like, you're not from Miami, are you? Then once they heard me say coffee and water, and they're like, oh, you're from New York. You're not one of them anymore. After many years, I kind of became one of them because it's been 20 years. You kind of, you assimilate or you learn to assimilate, okay? But when let's say you live in North Carolina and you hear somebody from Miami come up, you're going to hear the accent. You're like, wait a minute. You're not from around here. You might be interested. You're probably a good person. You'd be like, hey, tell me about yourself. I want to learn. I want to know. Maybe there's not but there's still that catch where they catch you and they say, you're not from here. You're from somewhere else. Go for it. If you're from the Northeast, travel to Texas. You'll stick out like a sore thumb. Oh, you might think you're from the Northeast or you're big and mighty. That's a whole different demographic out there. And same thing, if a Texans go to New York, the minute he opens up his yap or the way he's dressed, you're not from New York. You might be seen as a target in certain neighborhoods in New York. Hey, I grew up in those neighborhoods, okay? Deep in the slums of Brooklyn, USA, okay? Hey, please, if you're gonna visit Colombia and you're single, right? Don't fall for these women, okay? They're beautiful, but they'll slip something in your drink. I mean, if you don't listen, here's the problem with men. They fall in love too quick. First night, oh my God, I'm in love. No, it's not. It doesn't work that way. Give it some time, right? Go out someplace that's not nightclub oriented, okay? Go for a horseback ride. Go climb a mountain. Go chase a waterfall. Even though the song says don't go chasing waterfalls from TLC. No, here in Colombia, go chase waterfalls. Go look for them. You're gonna find one. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be great. Okay? Do stuff like that. Where drinking and being placed in an environment of danger is not really the norm. Okay? Going on a hike, going on a chiva, going to nice restaurants, going to see the countryside, going through pueblos, that's all good. But the minute you're in those districts of nightclubbing and stuff like that, that's where you need to have your spidey senses or your senses, wherever you're from, on. Not 100%, 110%. Even though you guys know what I mean. There's no such thing as 110. It's got to be 100%. All right? So, pick them up, stay safe, and know Colombia is not a dangerous place unless you let your guard down. Talk to you guys later. Peace.